Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Sunday, the 17th day of July, 2022. It is the 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Still in Freising after an exciting trip to Munich yesterday. One day I'll have to tell you all about it. But still in Freising this morning, coming to you from the front of the one of the Prince Bishop's houses. Again, in Freising, the bishop in Freising had very powerful political as well as ecclesiastical influence and role to play in the life of Bavaria, and so a fitting residence. This one belonged to, I think, Johannes Hirschhofer. Yes, Johannes Hirschhofer. But quite a lovely place over here. The other thing that I believe that we were told is that this building behind me over here, yes, was the former Franciscan monastery. Again, located in the downtown area of Freising and right next to the Prince Bishop's house because of how highly admired and thought of were Franciscans. Today it is an Italian restaurant and it has a wine bar below it. And the wine bar's name is Franciscus, which I guess is very appropriate. So beginning today, we're getting ready to leave tomorrow to go to Oberammergau to attend the Passion Play. But our kind of last full day in Freising, maybe just a quiet one, a slow one. The Prince Bishop's residence was, of course, right next to the Cathedral, St. Georg, which is right there. Now, there's another saint that is important in Freising. I can't remember what it is, but the cathedral belongs to St. Corbin. So St. Corbin, this is the cathedral of St. Georg in the parish church of St. Corbin. So it's kind of this connection between the two of those saints. But anyway, today on this 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time, our reading first from Genesis, in which we hear of the prophecy that is given to Abraham and Sarah that they will have a child, that they will have a son. And that son is to be Isaac. And again, this prophecy happens because of Abraham's hospitality and kindness to these three visitors who come to him by the tent, by the village of Mamre. And there he hosts them, and because of his kindness to them, they offer Abraham this opportunity to become a father, Abraham and Sarah to become parents, even in their advanced age, showing that there is nothing impossible again with God, and that God will use even the most seemingly absurd and irrational ways in which to create the line of salvation history, which begins with Isaac and then continues throughout the rest of the Jewish people. The wonderful thing about this reading, again, is that it shows that trying to listen to what it is that God has to say may not be easy, but that it is something that allows us, when we are able to do it, realizations of things that we had thought perhaps were impossible, or not recognizable, or not able to be realized. Connected with that, though, is the Gospel of Martha and Mary from Matthew's Gospel. And again, we know that Martha is working busily trying to create a meal to be hospitable to Jesus, and Mary is just sitting at Jesus' feet listening to him preach. And Martha complains to Jesus that, why doesn't Mary help me? And then Jesus says to Martha, 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 you're worried about many things, and only one is important, to listen to me. And Mary is doing that, and she's chosen the better thing to do. Now again, that whole idea about listening to Jesus and that being the better part, it is true. But again, being hospitable and things like that, again, allowed Abraham to have this great desire granted to him and to Sarah to have a child. So again, it does not necessarily knock hospitality. It doesn't say that we shouldn't be hospitable, but perhaps it is that whole sense in which we need to recognize, again, it's a both and. We are hospitable not just because we want to serve people, but also it's because we want to establish relationships with them, to establish relationships with each other, relationships that bring life, relationships that build upon life, relationships that offer us a way of understanding ourselves and seeing ourselves and experiencing ourselves in a fuller, more wonderful and more profound way. Mary was perhaps doing that to some degree. Martha was doing that to some degree. The idea was for them to both come together and to recognize, how much more rich and how much more wonderful the relationships can be when we both do things for each other and basically just sit and be with each other. And may the Lord give you his peace.